Listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
Here's your host.
The program, my name is Zev Brenner. We have thousands of Chabad Shluchim from around the world gathered in Crown Heights this time of year. And with us right now is Rabbi Mendy, Kotlarsky, Director of the International Conference of Shluchim. And let me welcome to the broadcast, Good Vach. I want to mention that my condolences to you. I know you lost your father, Rabbi Kotlarsky, a few months ago, and your father entrusted you with undertaking his responsibility at Chabad headquarters. I always enjoyed going to the Chabad Shluchim conference and hearing your father. So I know you'll be stepping in the footsteps. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Zev. It's an honor and a privilege to be on with you.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So I know this is usually a joyous occasion, but of course there's sadness with the murder of Rabbi Tzvi Kogan. I know that's going to be a topic of conversation as well at the Shluchim conference.
Yes, definitely. Obviously, we're deep into the going throughs from Wednesday. There's over 4,000 Shluchim coming together. I'm actually in the Brooklyn Armory right now. We just finished the Matzah Shabbos program, and as you said, one of the obvious situations that we're all dealing with is the loss of Rabbi Kogan, Hashem Yikam Damav. And, you know, I wouldn't call it a silver lining, but, the incredible strength that Shluchim have, the ability to come together and be there for each other and be there with each other, has definitely enabled so many of the Shluchim coming, especially from the most remote places, where they are faced with similar situations and, similar fears, to be able to not only have to deal with this, over, either phone calls or calls, but be able to sit together. And one of the psukim that the Rebbe would always talk about by the kiddush was that one of the great takeaways is to be able to sit together and strengthen and empower each other. And that took on a whole different meaning this year.
I understand, but are you concerned, or Chabad Shluchim concerned, will there been a terror target? Because Chabad, was targeted here in Mumbai. There's a connection to Mumbai, of course, with the recent killing. So do Shluchim feel threatened by what's happened, that they're being targeted by these terrorist groups?
I think we're very plugged into the reality, unfortunately, especially in this past year, but not limited to. Jews around the world are experiencing a lot of this and becoming targets on college campuses, in many different places. So since Mumbai and even before that, we have security officers that are in touch with the agencies on the top level, both here and in Israel and around the world. And we do our ishtadlus, something we take very, very serious. And many of the Chabad houses have instituted great security measures by the greatest consultants, and we have to do our part, and we obviously daven and do the spiritual part of it as well. Make sure that the mezuzah is in place. But yes, even the security side of it is something that we invest tremendously in.
Now I know every year when I go, you get bigger and bigger, get bigger and bigger venues. How many people are expected tomorrow at the big banquet?
So we just crossed the 6,000th person that is coming. We closed registration a long time ago, but because there are new shluchim that around the kinnis are entered or taken out, so we have to make exceptions as we come closer.
Where the new shluchim from? Which far-flung areas, or is it close to home?
There are close and there are far. For that, you'll have to tune into the banquet, because that's the big scoop at the roll call when we announce the new countries and the new some of the new places. But there are some very interesting countries added to the Rebbe's world map.
You still announce each individual area, like the shliach from Hong Kong, the shliach from China. You still each country individually?
We are still going to do the roll call. We're changing it up a little bit this year, but yes, it is a highlight of the evening, and it's an opportunity for everybody to be recognized, at least on some level, to feel like they were had a part in it, and that is something very important to us.
Who is the keynote speaker?
This, because of what happened, we actually changed up the format, and it's much more of a production and highlighting different parts of the world, different storylines. There's no one 20-minute speaker. There's a lot of videos and short 3, 4, 5-minute speakers. Obviously, we have to add in a piece about the UAE and the Rabbi Kogan. and his life, which is going to be very emotional. There's a clip about a memorial to my father, who graced that stage for over 4 decades from the first year and built this into the premier Jewish event that it is. But along with that, stories from all over the world, and it's going to be an incredible program. And just the energy in the room, like is something that is irreplaceable and it is indescribable, really.
That's an experience. I enjoy going every year, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be muted somewhat because of the terrible tragedy, but yet the spirit of the dedication that your Shluchim have to be in a far-flung community is not easy, and especially today with the threats that hang over the fact that you're in far-flung places. You have to have increased security. Here's a challenge. You have increased security, but you have people coming in all the time that are seeking. How do you balance that out with security and people who are just walking in that are searching for Judaism?
And thank God we've figured out that formula. And I think people, especially in those types of places, are much more in tune with, understanding that there's, double entry doors, or you need to bring ID, you need to register in advance. We don't publish where the events are going to take place. We have surveillance cameras. We have some very sophisticated cameras that capture, irrelevant or irregularities, or even license plates that come by. And we're in touch, like I said, with the authorities and with intelligence agencies. So it's a multi-tiered approach. And honestly, if you would have asked any of us in the security industry or anyone in the security industry, what the top 50 places are, UAE would not be in that space. It's a fairly safe country. What happened over there was terrible and tragic, but it's not the norm. It's not one of those places where you would expect them to come from.
Very true. But I know the UAE officials were very contrite and upset about it. They even paid a shiva call in Israel in full gear. So I know that they caught the perpetrators right away. So not that it helps the life, but it shows that they are concerned about it. Rabbi Mendy Kotlarsky, the director of the National Conference of Shluchim, thank you for joining. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And success with the big event that's going to take place in just a little while.
You're very, very welcome. And this would be the time of year to remind all your listeners that they too can be a shliach. If you know a Jew, whether it's at work, whether it's in your family, your community, you can reach out to them and share a mitzvah with them. You can go to onemitzvah.org and create a mitzvah campaign. But this is the time of year when we rededicate ourselves to spreading Yiddishkeit to our fellow Jews.
Final question: could you be non-Chabadnik and still be a shliach from the official movement?
1,000%.
You have any non-Chabadniks that are shluchim?
We have many non-Chabadniks that admire and follow the Rebbe's lessons and
my question, are they shluchim and officially have like an official capacity of being a shliach?
There is a process to that.
Okay. Anyway, good success and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Mendy Kotlarsky here on the Talkline Network. Okay, when we come back, we'll speak to David Schoen. He's an Orthodox attorney.